Hello ladies and gents, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna give my thoughts about the two semifinals that have played today, and of course a preview of the final between the two gentlemen, Novak Djokovic and Matteo Berrettini. Both of them won their semifinals. Berrettini beat Hubert Hurkacz 6-3, 6-0, 6-7 and 6-4 in the fourth set battle. In advance, I thought this match was gonna be a little bit exciting due to Hurkacz's superbly great level he showed against Roger Federer. But we didn't see that Hurkacz in this match against Berrettini. Why? Because Berrettini was fired up from the beginning. He was majestic. He floated around the court and just took out Hurkacz in not in a brutal way, not in a super fashion way, but in a convincing way. If you count out the third set where he lost in tiebreak. Really, the Italian, he served tremendously good. His crispy forehand was solid. The cross-court forehand, the slice backhand, everything, his court coverage, his movement, everything was top-notch in this battle. I have nothing to complain about his performance today. It was clinical, it was majestic, it was rock solid. Hurkacz, on the other hand, he really fought, but he was not good enough today. Because the difference in this battle, there are always a few keys that separates the opponents, of course. In this matchup, it was the returning game, first of all, from Berrettini's side. He won 40% in Hubert Hurkacz serve. Tremendous returning from Berrettini. I have never seen him return this great that he has done against Hubert Hurkacz. Even though Hubert Hurkacz didn't get rewarded in his big serve today, he still served okay. His numbers were okay. So I will not say that he served terrible. It's like take discredit from his serve. I think that Berrettini actually returned pretty damn well today, and he got rewarded. Of course, his forehand, his own serving, he hold his serve mostly very easily through the match. Meanwhile, Hubert Hurkacz really had to struggle. He really had to fight for every almost single service game that he had. And in the second set, we saw the problems where Hubert only won 40% behind his first serve and 0% behind his second serve. Totally in the match, Berrettini won, I think, 86% behind his first serve and 61% behind his second serve. And Hubert won 60% behind his first serve and he won 68% behind his first serve and 50% behind his second serve. And Berrettini did a lot of winners today. 60 winners. He hit 60 winners and made only 18 unforced errors. While the Polish guy did 27 winners and 26 unforced errors. He only had 2 break points in Berrettini's serve, and Berrettini managed to broke the Polish Hurkacz 6 out of 10 times. So he was really clutch on those breakpoint conversations, 60%. That's great numbers. So Berrettini plays with pace. He plays ultra fast tennis, and that's why he has reached so deep in this tournament. Because if his serve is waterproof, he plays aggressive and have low unforced error numbers, he will reach deep because he's a solid player. He has the game, but his serve haven't cracked yet. His serve is still so solid, and he won his service game almost every of them very easy, and that's a big sign. He has now won 6 matches so far. He has shown consistency, mature level in this tournament. Hurkacz kept his going for 5 matches, almost 6. He fought back in the fourth set. He managed to take that tie break. And I thought maybe he will cause some... He played even in the fourth set, but that was not the case. They played even up until 4-4, but the number says it was even, but the way Berrettini held his serve was too easy, and I was never worried. I knew that the break will come. sooner or later, and it was in the 9th game, I believe, or the 8th game, where Berrettini broke Hurkacz and put the nail in the coffin. So what can I say? Hubert Hurkacz really landed on earth on this match after his victory against Roger Federer, who by all means is reaching 40 years next month. He's not near his prime level, but still went to a quarterfinal. Big props for Roger Federer. Many people have underestimated Roger's capacity. I didn't. I had him in a semi-final, but it was a sad loss for him. But still, to reach that deep with the injury history that they had is still great sport. So I hope Roger comes back, and Hubert also for that sake. But Hubert Hurkacz was not close the level he had against Roger Federer, and what can I say? Berrettini was on fire today. He was just too supreme, too majestic, too solid, too consistent to throw away this match. He knew the meaning of this match. Now he has reached the Grand Slam final for the first time in his career, and the first Italian since Panatta in 1976, where he won the French Open. I believe that he beat Björn Borg in that campaign. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now he's gonna play against Novak Djokovic. Hubert Hurkacz really tried his best, but Matteo was just a better player. Like I predicted, I said 3 straight sets or 3-1. I gave 52% to Berrettini and 48% to Hurkacz. Maybe I gave Hurkacz a little bit too much there, but Berrettini, when this player hasn't performed that great in Grand Slam before, it's very difficult to trust their consistency level. So the big question mark in that battle was the returning game, of course, from Berrettini, which made it easier for him because he broke the Polish dude 6 times. And he held his serve. Pretty easy math there. And on fast court like Wimbledon, you just need to break your opponent once, and then you can sail off and win the set if you hold your serve. Pretty much on every surface, to be honest. All right, now into the other battle, the other semi-final. What can I say? 3 tight sets, 6-7, 7-5, 7-5. As usual, this clutch monster, this beast from Serbia, the most all-round, the most complete player, demonstrated why he's the best. What is Novak good at except that all the things we already know, that he's great in every aspect, area, department of the tennis game. He's a damn good player of winning matches. He's a big match player. He's a clutch. He had this clutch button plugged in when it was necessary, because chapeau, by all means, he really tried today. He really tried. He didn't do a terrible match. I said before the match, if Chapo's gonna win, he has to keep his unforced error numbers under 30. He did 36 unforced errors in this match. He did 40 winners. Novak did 32 winners. Great, but only 15. He reduced his unforced errors numbers to 15 in this battle. He did 8 in the first, 4 in the second, and 3 in the last and third set. That shows that Novak really plays his best tennis when it most matters. What can I say? Chapo went out crazy. He played great, confident tennis in the first couple of games. When he's gonna serve for the first set, something happens that always happens when this lower ranked player plays against Djokovic. I knew in my heart, even though Chapo had 3-2 and 40-0 in his serve, I think he even had 4-2. I knew somehow, some way Novak is gonna come back, because Chapo always gives his opponent a chance to come back in the match. He started up hyper fast, held his serve tremendously good, played rock solid tennis from the baseline, fast-hitting ground strokes that put Novak out of balance, out of rhythm. He did those winners, but when Novak is angry, when Novak is in trouble, that's when he takes out his best game. Through the match, Shapo served and returned great. But the problem is when he starting to do unforced errors, he doesn't spread those unforced errors around the games. He can do like 4 or 5 unforced errors in one single game and just give away that. And that is not a mental toughness, in my opinion. So we have this different kind of tennis players. We have the A type, we have the B type, we have the C type. A type is Novak, Rafa, Roger. B type, Medvedev, Thiem, Tsitsipas, Zverev, Berrettini, and the C-type player is the rest of the players. This A-type player, they always have a backup plan. They have a plan B. They can adjust their game during the matches. If something doesn't work, they will put up plan B. And they have so many strengths, and they're also good at taking advantage of their opponent's weaknesses. Novak did that today, because the only thing that Shapo did not do great in this match, except spreading those unforced errors, not spreading those unforced errors, because I knew that he was gonna do unforced errors. That is not a he doesn't play super clean tennis all the time through an entire match, Shapovalov. I knew that when Novak, when Shapo gets his teeth into Novak's serve, if he have those break points, he really has to take them. Shapo took 1 out of 11. He only managed to break him in that beginning of the first set. And after that, he had 10 more chances, and he couldn't convert single one of them. You can't win against Novak. Look at the numbers, 6-7, 7-5, 7-5. Even though we were so close, he couldn't break Novak, because Novak served his way out of trouble. Novak played great on those points. He really didn't give anything for free for Shapovalov. The ball was in play. Shapo had to earn the point. Shapo had to win the point. He had to try to create something. And the longer the match went on, Novak was always there and sniffed in every single of Shapovalov's service game in the second half of the set. In second half of the set 2, Novak got those break points. Shapo served his way out of trouble, but eventually Novak broke. The same thing happened in the third set also. So Novak had some easy service game in the ending of the both set 2 and set 3. Shapo was not mentally there. Even though he played, don't get me wrong, Shapo did a tremendously good match. Much better than I expected. Even though he lost in 3 straight sets, he could have at least won 2 of them if he had been more clutch. But that was not the case today. Novak, Novak is always Novak. He doesn't disappear. Did he disappear during this match? He was there from the beginning to the end. In the beginning he lost, it got broken, but after he was there from start to the end, Novak Djokovic. And that's why he's the best player. He doesn't disappear. He doesn't give you that much. But if he gives you a break, he's very, very great of, he's actually an expert of taking that back. He lets you think that you are safe. And then he takes his teeth into your game. And he really shows. He didn't school Shapo, but in some way, mentally wise, he schooled the young Canadian dude today. He showed what it takes to be a Grand Slam champion. And now he's in the final again against Matteo Berrettini. All right, now I'm going to go into this final preview. They met twice. They met at the ATP Naitos final 2019. Novak destroyed him 6-2, 6-1, I believe. And in this year's quarterfinal at French Open, Novak dropped the set, dropped the set 3-1 there at Roland Garros. So now is the big question: what can Matteo do to defeat Novak Djokovic? Good question, huh? It's not going to be simple, but you knew that it's a Grand Slam final. After defeating the next gen or the old gen or the previous gen, call it whatever you want, players like Dominic Thiem, players like Daniil Medvedev, players like Tsitsipas in Grand Slam finals, Novak is really not in mood of losing to one of those youngsters. He is not ready to step down. He is still the king. He has the crown in his hand. Nobody's gonna snatch that from him. But the difference between the player that I mentioned is that Berrettini has a better serve than them. He gets more rewarded in the serve. And against the solid baseline player that barely makes mistake, that barely gives you anything, that barely makes unforced errors. He can leak unforced errors time to time, but Novak is so great of spreading those unforced errors. He doesn't do 4 or 5 unforced errors in a game. He maybe does 5 in first set, 3, 7, 6, etc. He spread those unforced errors. Berrettini really needs to serve as good as he's done, because if he does that, he will take sets from Novak. Even Novak can resist the serves that, especially the first serve that Matteo Berrettini has put in his opponent's service corner. It's fast, hard, accurate, with pace, sometimes angle. The area where Novak really can take advantage is his second serve, and when, of course, if he returns the ball goes in play. If Berrettini doesn't execute the point in the first 5 points, Novak has a decent chance to take him out from the baseline, because Novak's solid backhand will cause damage. Berrettini's slice backhand won't be enough against Djokovic. We have seen Federer many times. I'm not saying that Berrettini is as good as a slicer like Federer, but he doesn't have that depth and the accuracy that Roger does so naturally. I believe that. But his backhand needs to be, he needs to vary his backhand. Not with only slice. He has to surprise Novak. He has to approach the net more often. Novak, on the other hand, I think he's really confident in this match. I believe his game plan, and he knows his game plan already now. He's going to go out and play his game like he has always done and give Matteo Berrettini something to think about before the match and, of course, during the match. I believe that Novak is just rock solid, but Berrettini really has to play first strike tennis. He needs to be more clutch than he has ever been in his life. He can't do like he did at the third set, because when he dropped the set, it only benefited Novak Djokovic. He played 1 extra set now in the semifinal. Novak Djokovic played 3 tight sets on the other hand. So both of these matches were pretty comfortable wins, even though the numbers in Shapovalov Djokovic matches says the other. But there was like heavyweight boxers that sparred with each other, and then in the end of the round, some of them tried to knock out their opponent, and that case was Novak, the winning guy in 3rd of those knockout rounds. So Berrettini really has a tough task in front of him. This is the biggest match of his life. Novak is here to win his 6th Wimbledon title. He's here to equal Roger Federer's and Rafael Nadal's Grand Slam race tally, Grand Slams 20. He will reach 20 if he wins on Sunday. Do you think this is going to miss that chance? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I still believe that Novak is going to win, but he will face his best opponent so far. If Berrettini can return as good as he had done in the Hurkacz match. But Djokovic is another type of server. He won 81% behind his first serves and 57% behind his second serve. And Shapo won 79% behind his first serve and 42% behind his second serve. So he has a tough task there in the returning section also. And he has to take care of his own serve also. In my honest opinion, I think that it is going to be too much for the young Italian. He has too many obstacles in this final match to think about, and I believe that Matteo Berrettini has a decent chance of taking one set at least. Everything from there is a straight bonus for him, even though his mindset is not what I'm saying, what I think. But I believe that Novak, like the big stage player, like the trophy hunter, like the trophy collector, like the big clutch monster he is, he has almost reached his goal. He has only one match left. He has only one battle left. He has only one obstacle left. He has only one last dude to defeat to complete that third out of three Grand Slam. He has a superb chance of winning the Olympics also, and later on US Open. So Novak is here to collect everything. It's all in for Novak. This season is the all-in season. He has surpassed Roger Federer's number one week ranking. He has almost 330 or 40 weeks at 30 weeks at the top spot ranking. He's trying to expand the lead, of course, and he will if he won't get he will still be number one ranked after this tournament, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So Novak is on a mission. He's here to raise out all of his chief rivals records from the history books. So Novak, I don't know. I'm sorry about Matteo Berrettini, but you don't have, I won't say you have a chance. Everything is possible in sport, but I believe that Novak Djokovic is the better player. He's a consistent server. He has a great first and second serve. He has a great cross-court forehand. His backhand is out of his world. The best in business. Cross-court backhand, the backhand down the line. He always finds those lines. He pushes his opponent back from the court. He has that depth in the ground stroke that only 5% of the top players can match. I think that Zverev can match him in that section, but he's not consistent as him. And Novak is a great net player also. He has great shot-making skills. He's a clutch. He's mental tough. You name it. He will have the crowd against him. He will defeat the crowd also, not only Berrettini, the crowd and everything around them. So I believe that Novak is a better player, and he's just a better player, all in all. Berrettini, on the other hand, has great serve, great crisp forehand, great slice that needs to work. He has a variated backhand slice with some flat-hitting backhands. He needs to go for the trigger. He will and have to play short points. He needs to put some length in his ground strokes. He shouldn't hit the ball short like Fuskovic did. He really needs to have length in his ground strokes. Otherwise, Novak will punish him. And Novak moves better than him on court. He has better court coverage. So Novak has the whole grass field to his advantage. But as an upcomer, as an underdog, underdogs have won before. Everything needs to really work for Berrettini. But that's not the case for Novak. He doesn't have to be 100% sharp to win this match. He can play 90% of his strength, his capacity to win. That's a big advantage. And he doesn't have many flaws in his game like Berrettini have, because he doesn't have any weaknesses, in my opinion. He can disappear for 5-10 minutes every set, but then you have to take a chance and still play tennis, high percentage tennis. Can Matteo Berrettini do that? I don't believe that. I believe that Novak Djokovic will win this final in 4 sets. Like I predicted before this one, man, Novak will be the champion. But let's see. The match is going to still play. Who's going to take the racket out of his opponent's hand? Will it be Novak or will it be Matteo? May the best man win. Take care and bye-bye.